Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode
Oh
of
yeah,
The
back.
Governor. Hey, we had to make one of those like the Chiefs have. We need to
But
have
like
one
in
of
a goat fashion.
those.
We have
Yeah.
to work on that.
Go. No, go, go. Hey, so we were talking about last week's episode that was so cool. We had Billy Thomas, who is
Yes, awesome man.
I love with his attitude and his respect for the game and the kids and his mentality that he's bringing to Rockhurst. I am just like, whoa, I want to coach like that.
Yeah, I'm the thing I've also loved again is its multifaceted dimensions of his coaching. You know, he's very even kill, but he expects competitiveness from you. So it's like it's such a good feng shui of energy, if you will. I think he's a master at that too. I like that a lot. It's one of the things I thought or admire by him the most, if you will, besides his skills as a parent.
Well, and you know, also it's like it comes down to we have respect as coaches, and it's either you have fear, respect, or you have like respect, but with power. And so you can tell that the kids, the coaches, all the feedback that we've got from the show, everybody really respects him. He listens.
Absolutely.
He goes there. He's not just a fear guy. No, you got to do this. You got to do this. It's no, the kids love him and the coaches love him, and all the feedback is like, whoa, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So I was so excited to have him on. But today we got, for one, a couple really cool situations. One is we've got a new coach that we're going to be introducing on the show. He's new to the team. His name is Travis George. But what is really exciting is he brought his son on, Ethan George, that is going to UNI. And he's a local Ray-Pecker, right? Yeah, he's a local Ray-Pec guy. And he is going to UNI, and he's making that transition from being a high school stud, everybody, he's the greatest, to holy crap, I am now in the big leagues. D1, I'm playing the big boys. And I'm really looking forward to meeting him and hearing his story. So, Julie, let's bring on our guests.
Travis and Ethan, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello, Jeff. Hello, Damian.
Hello, guys. How you guys don't look at all alike. I mean, I can't even see a resemblance.
Difference in hair.
I think that's it. Great mixed here there. Travis, did you have long hair when you were his age?
When I was a freshman in high school, I had really long hair, and my high school wrestling coach decided one day he didn't like it and took the scissors to it, and that was the last time I had long hair.
I started growing my hair as a freshman in high school.
Well, Travis, I am so excited to introduce you as a coach and a new member of our team here at Triumph. And I just want you to tell just a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to dig into Ethan, but a little bit about you and why you decided that mental coaching athletes is something that you want to do.
Yeah, Jeff, well, thanks for the introduction. I have been this is my 27th year in law enforcement. I've been in this line of work since I graduated from undergrad. Had a passion for working with people and really just helping people in dealing with them or working with them on their worst day. That's what we did. That's what we do. And just, taking the aspect of understanding the human mind and how it works in decision making with emotions and logic and all those different facets of behavior, and really, really worked well in transitioning into coaching athletes as well. I also am a middle school football coach, high school wrestling coach, and a high school baseball coach. So the mental preparation and the behaviors and the understanding of how the human brain works in regards to performance, in relation to anger, frustration, sadness, fear, all those different things is so interchangeable. And I just love understanding the human mind and how to motivate people and how to understand why people behave the way they do. And so really just such a cool fit to be in law enforcement all these years, to coach high school athletes, and just to kind of bring it all together in this one role as a performance coach for Triumph. And it just couldn't have been a better fit. So, and it's really cool, the fact that I have a son that kind of fits right into this framework of performance anxiety and change and transition and mental toughness and mindset, all the things that I've loved and worked with people and tried to just make sense of things that don't make sense. And, so I'm so embracing this opportunity. My master's degrees in sociology. So I love, again, understanding why we do what we do and how that fits into society. So I just am super excited about this opportunity moving forward. So.
And, Travis, that leads us right into where we do want to go, which is exciting.
Yes.
Came on right at a time when I showed you my manual and you said, oh my God, my son, Ethan, could really use this.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to show him your book and your material. And Ethan, I believe you worked through a little bit of the workbook when you first transitioned from high school to college, right when you went. Tell us about that transition. What was that like for you?
One of the biggest transitions of my life, because like you had mentioned earlier, it was coming from, playing high school football, building a reputation I built there, and working as hard as I did. And I mean, the town I lived in was a pretty small town, so everybody knows everybody. And so transitioning over to this kind of new lifestyle and knowing that it was, everyone's big, everyone's strong, everyone's fast, everyone's good at football, obviously, it's the highest level you can play at. Right. And I had got here and it was just like, whoa.
Right.
It was just like, whoa, because, I got here and like I had mentioned, and it was just the biggest environmental change because I moved to a town that I've never been to before. I knew absolutely nobody. It's a whole new state. I mean, the list goes on. And so exactly. It's just a whole new lifestyle change that quickly. Yeah. And it was really, really hard at first. It was really hard because I didn't have any friends at first. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know where to go. New football team, new coaches, new everything.
Right.
And but all in all,
Ethan, what did you do at that time? You're like, you're there. You're like feeling just awkward. Everything's different. Everything's new. You're all alone.
No help. Yeah.
Well, I had a million different emotions running through me because while it was, I'm excited to be in the big show now. It's, holy cow, this comes with a lot of prices, and, and yeah, exactly. And so what it all was, just everything had just happened in the snap of a finger. And I really just was like, well, you're here now. You're here. And you can't quit. Everyone's counting on you. You can't just go in and quit because, you got to get up early. Camp is long, all this kind of stuff. You can't just quit.
Right.
And that's not in my belief system either.
But did you want to? Did you want to quit?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down.
Me too. And when I started playing college, it's like, oh, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, no kidding. Because it's really no joke when they say it is a full-time job. It's no joke at all. It is no joke at all. Right. So morning to night, every single night. But back to the thing about quitting was, did I have thoughts about it? Yeah, I did. I can't lie, I really did.
Right.
And I was sitting in my dorm. It was about around a month ago. And I was sitting in my dorm and I called my dad and I just said, this isn't really what I expected. I don't want to do this anymore. This is tough. This is mentally draining me and everything like that. And so that's when he offered to come up and stay the weekend because we didn't have any like weights or anything on Saturday and Sunday. So he offered to come up and spend the weekend with me, which I really, really appreciated. And that's when I got a little taste of your book. So.
And what did the book, like, what sections did you do? What value did it provide for you?
A lot of the evaluation part of it, kind of, you know, the self-reflecting questions that you had asked, the pros and cons to it.
You bet. You bet. So what do you think stopped you from quitting? Because there's a lot of college athletes that are in that boat that do quit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow.
And like I had mentioned earlier, it's not really in my criteria. It's not really what I believe in. And, you know, one piece of life advice that my dad gave to me that I really sunk in was to never make decisions solely based off of emotion. Right. And when he said that to me, it really, really sunk in. And I started thinking, you know, I went to bed. It took me a while to go to bed that night. Yeah. But I started thinking, and I was just like really shocked because one sentence changed my entire outlook on it. Because when he said that, I was like, well, I brought it back to when I was a freshman in high school, and I was kind of having the same feeling, just not nearly as big. But, you know, making the transition from youth and middle school football and all that to high school is just like, whoa, this is a big show essentially. Right. And, you know, when I got through my first camp as a freshman in high school, it was tough. I started to not like it anymore. But I didn't quit. This isn't me. I love football deep down, and I would do anything. It doesn't matter how hot and humid it is. It doesn't matter how many hours it takes. It doesn't matter how early I got to get up in the morning. It didn't matter to me because all I cared about was Friday night. That's all I cared about. And looking back at it 4 years later, not only a high school state champion with my Class 6 football team, amazing accomplishment.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was talking to my dad about it, and he asked me, he's like, from your freshman year to your senior year, not only did you have no idea what to expect, because my sophomore year, we had, what would we go, Dad, like 3-7 or something like that?
Yeah.
Something terrible. Lost the first round of playoffs and everything. But then coming to my senior year, and we went 12-2 and beat a private school who was ranked 8th in the country. And he asked me, what would you have done differently? And I said, absolutely nothing. I wouldn't have changed a single thing, because looking back as a freshman all the way to a senior, exactly. Looking back, there's not a single morning lift at 5:45 in the morning. There's not a single hot practice, a single day where we stay till 8 o'clock at night watching film. I wouldn't take any of those days back. And sure, at the time I was like, oh, I just want to go home and eat. I just want to do, you know, ABCD. There was plenty of times where I was just like, screw this, you know. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when I got my ring, I was like, I wouldn't change a single thing. There's not a single thing I would have done in my high school career differently, football wise, that I would take back, because that was the most memorable accomplishment that I had, and many more to come. But it was my most memorable accomplishment that I have, and
you know,
I wouldn't change anything.
Ethan, that attitude is what it takes to be a GOAT.
Absolutely.
Look back and beat ourselves up, and it's like every time that you won, every time that you lost, every time that you struggled and things didn't go your way, got you to the point where you are playing on a D1 football team, freshman, and you could have quit, but you didn't, because you learned those lessons earlier that you needed to learn.
Of course.
The one thing I wanted to ask you is, how are you managing things now?
You know, it's essentially just a bigger step in life than what the story I had just said, you know, and it's as a freshman in high school, it's everything I just mentioned. And now it's, you know, the big show, the highest level you can play at and everything. And like I'd mentioned earlier, everyone's big, everyone's strong, everyone's fast, everyone's good at football, or else they wouldn't be there.
Right.
So it's essentially just a new milestone that I got to climb, and I'm a freshman in high school again, if you know what I mean. Right. So
What's that like for you to be that freshman in high school again?
So it definitely has its challenges, no doubt about it. It definitely has its challenges. But whenever my dad came up and stayed that weekend, it really sunk into me, saying that who knows what life can hold for you in 3 to 4 years from now. You have absolutely no idea what's in front of you. You have no idea at all.
Right.
And that's why I will never forget that weekend that he came up, drove 4.5 hours from Kansas City all the way to Cedar Falls, Iowa, just to invest some time in reading your book, and shared with me about, making that transition and the emotions that were running through my head, which ultimately really led me to say, this isn't me. I'm not quitting. I mean, sure, it's tough, but it's temporary.
Right.
So,
Travis, I actually have a question based upon that. Is, with what we're trying to do, we always want to help the athlete and also help their parents in the process of their child's sports career. What made, where were your emotions? Where were your thoughts? Where were your feelings knowing he was going through this? Did you want to fix it? How did you go through that process and plan before?
Sure. Yeah. So, everything in life, I think we learn, particularly as parents, we learn from trial and error, right? It's no different, right? We make mistakes, we learn from our mistakes, we move on. I made some mistakes with his older brother. His older brother played football too, and I made some mistakes. I did some helicopter parenting with him, and pushed him in the wrong direction. Good intentions, but pushed him in the wrong direction with his sports. And I saw where I struggled and where I failed in that. And so I said, I'm going to take a different approach with my younger son. And when I kind of took the pedal off and let the reins off and let him kind of figure things out himself, he shined, he excelled, he flourished, he blossomed. And, it was his own journey. It wasn't my journey. It was his journey. I was just there to support him and answer questions.
Exactly.
And that's really all I was there for the entire time. And he felt comfortable when he could come to me because he knew I wasn't going to judge him. I wasn't going to tell him what to do. I was just going to support him and give him encouragement just from being on this earth longer than him, Right. And I use an example in my middle school football practice the other day. I said, one of the biggest issues I think we have in any athlete, particularly doing something for the first time, a lot of 8th grade football players, particularly in a team that I coach, that's their first time playing, right? So the main issue, one of the biggest problems they have is fear of failure, right? So if their mindset is, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make this first block or this first tackle and I'm going to fail, they're going to fail. They're going to make a mistake and they're going to fail. But if they come out with saying, I'm going to win, and every time they put their hand on the ground to make that block or make that to whatever the situation is, if they have that mindset, it's going to change their level of performance. And I shared a story, with all of them. I said, my son was right here like you guys are. He's a Division I college football player now. Do you think he's ever had his head knocked off? Absolutely. You think he's ever laid the wood on somebody? He absolutely has. Ethan shared a story with me, and he did a one-on-one drill against a young man that's being looked at, up in northern Iowa that's 6'6", 340 pounds. It's probably going to get drafted. And you think that's a little intimidating? The kid's a redshirt junior and Ethan's a freshman. You think it's a little intimidating for him? Absolutely was. And he got knocked in the dirt, didn't you, son? But you know what?
I did.
Did you learn from it? Did you learn from that? Did you grow
I did.
from that? Right. So we can't learn lessons in life and we can't grow as athletes unless we make mistakes and we learn from failure. And that's just the way it works. It's then we learn, we grow, and we get better when we change our mindset.
Right. Guys, I am so excited to have both of you on. And this kind of leads us to the GOAT tip, which is the GOAT tip is find your why. And, Ethan, you kind of told the story of this GOAT tip is we're good. And that greatness, when you take that transition, that next step, you get humbled really fast. And you either find your why and keep going and dig deep and play, or you quit. And those are 2 options, really. So it's like the only way that you're really going to embrace it and be great at it is if you understand I'm playing because I love the sport. I love the game. I love what it comes with it. Not I've got to impress people. I've got to show people. I've got to demonstrate. I've got to be all this. It's if you're playing for you, you're finding your why, and this is about you. That's what goats do. You know, that's
no doubt.
Great do is why am I doing this and then doing that.
No doubt.
Little housekeeping that we got to take care of. I am really excited about an opportunity, D, on the 31st at 6 o'clock at the ACA. Julie's going to put up the information, but we have a shut up and listen, active listening workshop that it is basically a technique that we're going to teach parents how to use with their children. They teach them how to really listen and stop telling and stop fixing and stop directing the kid's life and start really hearing what's going on for them. And I'm sure our good buddy Ethan can attest to that. It's so much better to have a parent that's listening than one that is telling.
No doubt.
So we got that coming up. We've got
and then from that, Jeff, is actually the way that we're going to continue to help parents help their athletes with our product. I'm very excited to announce my Parenting and Athlete Training Series, where just, again, helps parents understand your role within your child's sports career. So, again, very similar to Ethan as that freshman in high school and our freshman in college, dad's roles had to change a little bit, but at the same time, he's used a lot of the same skills to help him throughout the whole entire journey. So we want to continue to help equip parents with the right thing to do, learning when to say things, when not to say things, and helping them in 3 key areas, especially for your younger athletes, which is your pregame, in-game, and post-game. I really help them to manage those anxieties and those fears.
Love it. And you know what? There is no rule book. Travis, you can attest to that. Every parent out there can attest. I wish I had some guidance to how to be a good parent. And I think the advice that we got from Travis and from Ethan tonight, both said, shut up and listen, Dad. I want you to be there for me. I want to be able to talk to you and tell you my struggles, but I don't want you to say, oh, you should be doing this. You should be doing this. You should do this. You should be like this. It's no, you just listen to his struggles and be there for him.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to teach on the 31st. And other than that, I got nothing. I think that was a great show, guys. I really appreciate it.
Wait a minute. We've got, I believe I've secured Adam Hawley for next week's guest.
Oh, yes.
He is on the board of directors for MoCan basketball. Is that a league? Would I say a league? Is that how I say
they're
that?
a program, club program, yes.
So Adam's son and Ethan played high school football together.
Oh, right.
Oh.
They're on the same team.
I love that.
They played youth football together since they were in 3rd grade.
Oh wow. Love that.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is really neat.
Yeah. Conrad's playing Division I ball too now. So
at KU, right?
Yeah, the two of them are you're the only 2 Division I scholarship athletes to come out of Ray-Pec's state championship team. Is that right, Ethan?
Yeah.
I believe you 2 were. Yeah.
That is so great.
Awesome.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, that is
great. We're going to have Conrad on as one of our guests also.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on.
All 6'7" of him.
Only other housekeeping tip I have is asking our audience to like us and follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel so they can keep up on everything GOAT. All GOAT all the time.
Yeah.
All GOAT all the time.
And does anybody else have anything that they want to share? I don't have anything else on my list.
No.
Thank you so much for the opportunity today.
Ethan and Travis.
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys are rock stars, and good luck, Ethan. I wish you all the luck. I'm from Iowa. I know you and I really well.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You and I, Iowa State, September 4th at Jack Trice Stadium, 3:30 in the afternoon.
Ooh,
Okay. Keep us informed.
Streamed on Big 12 Now and ESPN. Watch it.
Ooh, I like it. All right, guys. Take care and thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.